Hi everybody, Scott Card here. Today I want to walk you through my mishaps trying to replace the battery originally with my Motorola Z phone. And so I purchased the battery and brought it in and decided to start working on it. And so here we are, we're unboxing the the battery. This one comes with some tools, a nice bit of tape to stick it down, and a battery. Now, how good this battery is, I'm not sure. We're going to find out how the longevity is. But it's an aftermarket battery, and I'm very thankful for all the work that everybody's done with the right to repair, and the fact that we can indeed buy batteries and screens now. It's super helpful to us when we want to repair our devices. And I want to encourage everybody to actually try to do this. I mean, the worst case scenario when you have a broken screen, for example, is you break it more. I mean, it's already broken. The worst thing that could happen is you waste some money and break a new screen. And quite frankly, depending on the manufacturer, they are quite inexpensive. And here, they even include the tools so that we can disassemble this and hopefully reassemble it in one piece better than it was. All right. So let's dig into this. I like some of these tools. Some of them, like the screwdrivers, are absolute garbage. They'll end up going to my son. But the guitar pick, prying tool, and the spudger are fantastic additions, and the suction cup is absolutely essential. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our hot air gun and turn it down to its minimum settings for temperature and slowly heat it up. Being careful because the screen at this point is good and I don't want to destroy it necessarily. And so just gently warming to loosen the glue is the intent. All right. And so, yes, slowly warming. We'll keep working at it until we feel that it's ready to put the suction cup on, and then start prying and healing, trying to get that super strong adhesive to release. And that's the sound that you never want to hear when you're removing a screen. So I've cracked this screen, but I mean, there's no sense in stopping now. We'll continue to remove the screen, and then we can check to see if it works, as well as we're already in for the battery, so we might as well change that out and see where we go from here. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to replace was the back camera lens cover. Now, this one I have replaced in the past, and it's super simple. If you do have one of these rear lens covers and it's cracked or scratched up, don't worry about it. It's super easy to replace. You just heat it up, and it's already cracked, so you don't need to worry about that too much. I don't like some of the videos where I see people taking a screwdriver and hammering it in, but you just get in there and warm it up, peel it out. Make sure that the lens is clean before you install the new cover. And most of them come with adhesive already. So there you go. And you can see that I did replace that battery already. All right. All right. So a little while later, my new screen did arrive. Was quite inexpensive. I think I paid about $50 Canadian for it, and so it was actually less than the battery itself, and came with a nice set of tools that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with at this point, but yeah, they're there and available for use, and yeah, was reasonably happy with what I found. Now I did, you're going to notice that I did have a black screen on it before, and I replaced it with a white one. That metal guitar pick, not really sure what you're going to do with that. You want to be pretty careful with anything metallic around your electronics, especially anything that might have power, like your battery or um, any glass products, because it's going to be really easy to damage it. All right, so we unbox it here, and let's take a look at what the screen actually looks like. So, one of the first things that you want to do when you get a new screen is to actually plug it in, turn it on, and make sure that the screen works. The reason being is you'd hate to glue it down and get everything in place just to find out that you have a defective screen. And so, the idea here is we're not going to apply any adhesive. We're not too worried about the sensor. We just want to power this up, make sure that it turns on. There's no other issues because you do recall with a new battery and everything else, we're not quite sure what to expect. And so, yeah, very carefully not to cause any shorts, connect it, and being careful, especially with that locking tab, that we don't damage that flex cable connector. And then we power it up, and hopefully everything works. So you should be able to see the screen and interact with the touch screen. And fantastic, it turns on. That's a good first step. So now we're going to power it down and get everything prepared for final assembly. Now here I'm removing all of the old glue and anything that is going to stick up. It's really important that that screen is allowed to lay flat. All right, so that um, because a little bump is going to cause a crack point, so a stress point that's going to cause the screen to fail. So super clean and take your time, get all of it off that you absolutely can. I don't recommend using solvent just because it's going to get everywhere and we're not sure what's in there that may be sensitive to solvent, one, and two, you don't want to get anything near your cameras because it's going to fog it, or even worse, if it's acrylic, it's going to craze it or cause little cracks in it. So absolutely try to keep everything as clean as possible. Now, at this point, I'm pretty much contemplating whether or not this was a good idea at all. Because, yeah, this is the second screen that I've done in, and this one was even more silly than the first. I absolutely should have known better than to stress the screen by trying to squeeze it like that. The idea or my thinking was that I just wanted to apply some pressure so that the LED for the flashlight and the camera flash would stay in place. In retrospect, yeah, that was kind of silly, and but I decided to finish putting it together, and I would use it as is. Now, a couple days later, I've been using the phone, crack on it. It kind of upset me every time I looked at it. But my daughter was playing with it and dropped something on it and absolutely killed the LCD. Started off a little bit at the bottom you couldn't quite see, and I watched the blue crystal, the liquid in the crystal, slowly move its way up. And within a few hours, the phone was completely unusable. It still functioned. I know that the phone still worked because I could make the odd call using the voice activation. And as I said, screens were fairly inexpensive, so I ordered one and some tape because the tape that does come with these is mediocre at best. And so, yeah. And here we are with the easiest phone opening ever because, yeah, like I say, that adhesive that came with the screen, isn't that fantastic? And so, yeah, we'll peel it off, disconnect the LCD. So we're going to lift the little bar for the flat flex cable connector there, and that's good. And the touch sensor, the thumbprint reader, is stuck in place because of a little adhesive that I left. And we're going to be more careful with this new screen. All right, so we'll get the rest of the broken glass and any other adhesive out of there before we start laying in our new adhesive. We'll unwrap our new screen, being super careful this time. yeah, hopefully third one is a charm. Give it a quick little inspection. And as we did before, we're obviously going to um, power it up just to make sure that it does function properly. But first, our satisfying peel as we take the first protective coating off. Okay, so now we'll power it down and we will start to apply our new adhesive. So things to keep in mind, you don't want your adhesive being overly wide. So in this case, I purchased 1 millimeter wide adhesive, and I'm going to place it all around the perimeter and across any flat surfaces that are going to require uh, good contact. And so the bar at the top and at the bottom are really important because they are flat surfaces that you can adhere to, one, and two, they are touch points where people, well, mainly me, will be handling the phone for especially in and around the touch sensor. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of tape to that LED because when I removed it originally, I did remove all of the tape, and that was one of the reasons why I was pushing as hard as I was to try to get it to stick. And so this time I'm going to add a little bit of tape, and we'll see how it works out. All right. Now that we've removed all of the backer, we're able to stick the phone face back on, and we'll give it a nice little press, being gentle to not cause any stress on it. Power it up. It still powers up, which is fantastic. And we will once it finishes booting, try to interact with it. So we'll make sure that the touch screen is still working now that it is permanently stuck down. All right. Now, seeing as that went as well as it did, we don't want to have to replace this anytime soon. So I have also picked up a hardened glass screen cover for it. And so this is one of the Corning Gorilla Glass covers. And so this one's going to be fairly easy because it's brand new. I don't need to worry about cleaning the screen too awfully much because it's impossible for it to be dirty, I assume. And so, yeah, second satisfying peel of the day. And yeah, take out the new screen cover, peel off the backer for that, being sure not to leave any fingerprints, and slide it on. All right. And of course, when I was finished here, I immediately put it back into its phone case. Should a tool get dropped onto it again, just to give it a little bit of protection. And yeah, so the battery charged up. I conditioned the battery, and it seems to be much better than the original one, which was getting quite tired. So absolutely something you should think about if you have a phone that's getting on in years and you want to try to replace it. Or sorry, you don't want to replace it, but you can get a screen that's reasonably priced. Um, Go for it. Worst case scenario is it doesn't work and you're out $50 or $100. Um, the it's so great that the right to repair movement is doing as well as it is, and we are able to get parts now legally. Um, so hopefully everybody's willing to try to avoid sending devices to landfill just because the battery is getting a little bit tired. All right. Hopefully you found this video helpful and at least entertaining. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If not, I'd love to hear your critical feedback, comments down below. Do subscribe, hit the notify bell if you'd like to be kept aware of when I create new videos. And as always, thanks for your time, and I hope you have a great day. All right, bye now.